Guys, my name is Yaku. I run Facebook ads for restaurants specifically. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I set up my ad campaigns so that I can actually see what my ads are doing in terms of driving online orders. I can see exactly how many online orders I get from each campaign. And in fact, I can see how many online orders each of my ads gets. And I'll show you that so that you can actually figure out which of your ads are the most effective so that you can go with the ones that are most effective and deactivate the ones that are not effective. So I'll show you how I do that. I'll show you how I basically will run an ad campaign for a restaurant where they end up spending about $4 to get a $50 order. So if you think about that, that return on investment or return on ad spend is about a 10x return. So for every $4 they spend, they get $50. And that's really what I do for my clients, but it's something that you can do as well. So if you are a restaurant owner and you want to run Facebook ads or Instagram ads, when I say Facebook ads, I mean Facebook ads and Instagram ads or Meta ads. So let me just show you how I set some of my campaigns up. So here I've got 3 restaurants that have a similar budget. So they have a budget of about $10 a day. And you can see, firstly, I set my campaigns up so I know exactly when they started running. Okay, so October 21st, this campaign started. And here you can see in total, because I'm looking at the maximum period, so this goes back all the way to February 1st, 2022. Now, I didn't start this campaign back in 2022, but it's just showing me the maximum, for this ad account that I've got here. Dates back to February 22. I've got multiple ad accounts. So here you can see that I spent $841 on this campaign since October 21st, which works out to about $10 a day or $300 a month. And actually probably a little bit less, but what's important here is to see that I recorded 192 online orders. Okay, and I'm gonna explain how I know this. So what I've done is I've spent $841 to get 192 orders. Now, keep in mind, an average order for this restaurant is north of $50. And so what I'm doing is I'm essentially spending $4.38. Sorry for these pop-ups, but there you can see my cost per conversion is $4.38. And that's what I'm spending to get a $50 order for my client. And my goal when I'm running ads, and this should be your goal as well if you're running your own ads, is to constantly be working on the ads, changing them, dialing them in so that you get this cost per conversion to be as low as possible. And I'll show you that this is something that can work. For example, we're looking at the maximum report here right now, so $4.38. But if we just look at last night or yesterday, for example, and we see how much that my conversions cost me yesterday they cost me $2.15. So I spent $2.15 yesterday to get an online order worth $50 for this restaurant, and I got them 10 orders yesterday. So yesterday they spent $21 and they got 10 orders, which would be, like I said, over $500 in revenue for $21. And my goal is still to try and get this cost per conversion even lower. Okay, so that's what I do for my clients. And the way you can do this is you have to set up conversions. Okay, so here you can see as I scroll over my conversions, it just explains kind of what my conversion is. So my conversion is called, you can name your conversions when you set them up. So my conversion is called success order placed. So what that means is when someone clicks on my ad, whether they see it on Facebook or Instagram, once they click on the ad, I'm going to bring them to my website, to the restaurant's website. And there, Facebook is going to start keeping track of that visitor as they click through the website and they're checking out different menu items and they're doing whatever it is that they would normally do on my website. So Facebook can see every page that they're on because I've placed my Facebook pixel on the website so I can see where they're going on the site. Or at least Facebook can, in air quotes, see where they're going on my site. And then what I do is I tell Facebook my conversion, because this is important. A conversion does not necessarily mean an online order. A conversion is whatever you define as a conversion. This is very important to realize because I've seen a lot of people that run Facebook ad campaigns that firstly don't focus on conversions at all. They'll just report on, oh, this is how many times your ad's been seen or viewed. This is how many times they've been clicked. Okay, that's fine, but I don't care about that. I want to run ads and know that they're actually bringing in more business. So that's where conversions come in. But within conversions, if the person running your ads is not clearly defining the conversion as an online order that is successfully placed, meaning the payment has been processed successfully, then that conversion could be almost anything. Like you could, for example, say, my conversion is when someone lands on the homepage of my website. Well, that to me is useless. I don't care. I know they're going to land on that page. I want to know if they actually land on the page that they only see once they've made a successful payment. So you have to define that when you set up your conversions. You have to say, only count a conversion if the visitor lands on this page. And like I said, that's the success page that you see after orders placed. So that's how I know that these are successful orders that have placed, because you cannot get to that success page unless you place an order and make a payment. Now, something to keep in mind also when you are thinking about conversions, when you're running ads that track online order conversions, that's obviously a nice thing to track as a conversion because Facebook can actually see what the person is doing on your website. The entire user experience is on your website, so it can be tracked. When you're running Facebook ads and you're trying to see how many people are coming through my door and sitting down and having a meal, that type of conversion is an offline conversion. It's not an online conversion. So those are, you can't really track that. Obviously, Facebook can't see what the person does once they're not on your website or not on their platform. So just keep that in mind. The feedback I've had from a lot of the restaurants is, besides an increase in online orders, they're also seeing a lot of people coming to the restaurant saying, oh, I saw your ad on Facebook, or people will call. These places are all obviously takeout restaurants, like a pizza place, a fish and chips place, and then a Vietnamese restaurant. They do a lot of takeout, so they get a lot of phone calls with people that just place an order over the phone. And so you're going to get more business in those areas as well. But as the person running the ads, I cannot keep track of those conversions. So my point that I'm trying to make here is that just the fact that they got 10 orders for $2.15 an order is enough for this restaurant to be happy with the results that they're getting, but they're actually getting way more than this. So couple things here. If we look at yesterday, $2.15 to get an order. Now, why is that lower than the $4.40 that they've paid on average? Well, let's drill into this campaign and let's have a look, and I'll explain some of the reasons. So here you can see I've got 3 ads for this restaurant, and currently only one of them is on. The other 2 I've turned off. Now, how this campaign started, it started out with one ad, okay, one video. And I will just quickly click on this so I can show you, and I'll just show you like 3 seconds or 4 seconds of the video, just because I want you to get a sense of how I like to set up my ads, and so that you can do the same thing. You don't have to do videos. At the end of the day, what you want to do is run ads and see which ads are the most successful. If it happens to be video, then it's video. If it happens to be, a big bright image, then that's what it is. If it happens to be pictures of your food, then great, you go with whatever works. But so here you can see, it's kind of glitching a bit, but so my ad is a video where I'm walking to the restaurant, I'm talking about it, I'm kind of like explaining that there's this hidden gem in the city, a really good pizza place, blah blah blah. And then here you can see Facebook just gives me some previews of what that's going to look like. And so that's one way that I like to do ads. And what I did with this video, I posted the video. It did very well organically initially. So that's a good clue. Like when you are going to post videos as your ads, it's always good to post those videos just as an organic reel, okay? Because if a reel does well, like if it ends up getting a lot of views, that would be a good video to use for your ad campaign, because it shows that there's already something there that's engaging. So I ran that video originally as a reel. It got about 90,000 views. And so that to me was a very good sign that it's a nice video. It got lots of comments and likes and stuff. So then I used that video in my ad campaign. And initially, you can see here, if I just go expand my time range, initially when I ran that video, now keep in mind these two ads did not exist, okay? So I ran this video for a while, or I ran this ad for a while, and I noticed in the beginning that it was costing me $9.36 to get a conversion, to get an order. And so that was too high for me. I knew that, I know there are some people that might be fine with that. And it depends what you're selling. Like, if you're selling a $500 pair of shoes, then you might be happy paying $9 for an online order, right? But with restaurants, you have to be so careful with your ads, because your average order is sometimes $50, $20. So you cannot afford to spend $10 on an ad. It just doesn't make sense. So again, that's where my mission comes in, where I'm trying to just get that cost per conversion as low as possible for my clients. Because if I can do that, then they'll keep paying me forever. That's as simple as that. Because then it works for them. They're buying business, for next to nothing, and they're obviously going to keep paying me to keep running their ads. So I saw that this ad was running and it was costing $9.36 to get a conversion. So then what I did was I took that same video and I made a change to it. So I don't know if you remember when I showed the preview of the video, it starts with me walking and talking about the restaurant. Now that works really well for organic video, because with organic videos, you're trying to lure the viewer into the video. You're trying to get them to be invested in the video and to see what you're talking about. So in that video, I was talking about this place that has been in my city for, all these years that I've lived here, and I never knew it existed. It's this hidden gem, and then boom, I revealed the restaurant, but that intro took about 20 seconds. Now, that was great for the organic views, and it worked well for how the algorithms and stuff work when you're trying to just get a lot of views on Reels. But when you're trying to show an ad to someone, and especially when you're showing that ad to the person repeatedly, because that's something that you need to do when you're advertising, obviously. They say it takes someone has to see your ad something like 6 times before they will really even do anything. So when you're showing that type of content to a person over and over, they kind of go like, oh, geez, yeah, I get it. We know what the place is. You don't need to string us along for 20 seconds. So the type of content that you're creating for an ad is sometimes a little bit different than the type of content you would create for organic posts. So what I did, I took that same video, I cut the first 20 seconds where I'm talking about this place and kind of like creating this intrigue, and I just cut right into the restaurant, walking into the restaurant, seeing the food, and all of that, because I believe when you run ads for a restaurant, it's important to show the food. As soon as we see the food, in fact, me just thinking about the food that I show in that video makes me salivate, and so it's just a natural reaction that we as humans have to the sight of food. And so in that second version of the ad, I tweaked the ad a little bit. It's not a complete reshoot or anything like that. I just used the existing content that I have. I re-edited the video, and sure enough, that video ran, and it cost me $4.84 to get an order. So that confirmed that my hunch, because ultimately it's a hunch, when you're trying to decide what to do to improve the conversion cost, you're coming up with ideas that you need to test out. And a lot of those ideas are based on experience. Like, I've been running Facebook ads since Facebook ads started. I've got a degree in filmmaking. I believe in the power of storytelling. I know how to tell stories that get people to, remember key information, or that get them to act. And I've obviously been, working with restaurants for a long time. So I've got all of this stuff in my experience, in my tool belt that guides me. And you will have some experience and stuff as well that will guide you. You'll know your customer, you'll know what they like, what they don't like, etc. And you're going to use that to basically ask yourself, what can I do to make this ad be more effective? And when you try something out and you see that the result is taking you in the direction that you want to go, which is to reduce your cost of conversion, then you obviously keep building on that. So I took that ad where I chopped off the first part of the video. I saw that worked right away. See, I had 3 orders. But then I had another thought. Instead of linking the ad to the menu where the person can just start, adding items to their order, I thought I'm going to take them to a landing page first. Something that doesn't take them right into the ordering experience, but something that takes them to a page that just shows you're at Jimmy's Pizzeria's website right now, and there are buttons where they can place an online order, they can request a quote for catering, they can call the restaurant, they can get directions, they can read reviews, so there's a bit more information there. And why I thought that this would be a good idea is because I don't want to make the visitor feel like they're being forced to place an order, like they have no other choice but to kind of go down this path to place an order. I'm hoping that's what they will do, but at the end of the day, I kind of had this hunch that I wanted it to feel more natural to them, like a natural experience where if you're going to a website, you kind of find what the button to place an order, and then you go from there. And it's a counterintuitive thought, because usually you'd say, well, I want to eliminate the steps between that are required to get my visitor to do what I want them to do. And so by taking them to a landing page, I'm actually adding an extra step. But that extra step helped create a sense of trust, basically, and it removed a lot of pressure off the visitor. Anyway, so that cost per conversion went down to $3.50 on that ad. Now, my average of $4.38 is based on all of these ads, and so that's one of the reasons why my cost per conversion is lower. The other reason is this. There are certain days during the week when you are trying to sell something. For example, as a restaurant, we all know that there are certain days during the week when you just see more business come through the door. I think there's a reason why restaurants are not open on Mondays and Tuesdays usually. Those are days when people aren't that motivated to spend money at a restaurant. So looking at these campaigns or looking at these ads, the reason why people the reason why my cost of conversion or cost per result was only $2.15 yesterday is because yesterday was a Friday. Okay, So that's my other tip here if you're reading between the lines. When you're running Facebook ads, you have to think about it differently than traditional advertising that you would just, put a billboard up and it's up for the next 30 days. You might have a budget of $10 a day, but you're going to spend that budget on certain days. So my client has $300 for the month, but I'm only going to spend that money on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Those are the days when people place orders, and the day that is probably the most active would be a Friday or a Saturday. And so that's why my cost per conversion is going to be lower on those days, because people are just more motivated. If I show my ad to 1,000 people on a Friday, I'm just going to get more of them to place an order than if I were to show it on a Tuesday. The other thing, and this is very important to remember, when you are running your Facebook ads properly and you set your campaign up properly, Facebook is going to try and you have to remember, Facebook as a system is not a human being. It doesn't have emotions. All it tries to do is to achieve the goal that you're giving it. And so when you're setting up your campaign, you can have different objectives. Like you can run a Facebook ad campaign and say, I just want people to interact with this ad. I want them to hit the like button or the love icon, like the reactions. I want them to comment on my ad. All of those things might be a part of your objective for the ad campaign, because that, if someone sees your ad and there's 1,000 people that have liked it, that's going to be a positive signal to the person that sees your ad, and that might help you sell products. You might say, I've got a ad that has a powerful message and I want as many people as possible to see this message. So I want to just maximize my reach, and so your goal when you're running your campaign is to get as much reach as possible. If there's a million people living in your city, you want all of them to see the video once at least, instead of 10,000 people seeing the video 100 times. Okay, so those are all objectives and goals that you set up when you create your campaign. But if you set your campaign up properly, and like I said, if you're setting your campaign up with this objective that you're giving Facebook, where you say your goal is to try and get people to this page on my website, and this page just happens to be the success page. Again, Facebook doesn't care what the page is. I know that this page is the success page that you can only see when you place an order. What Facebook is essentially going to do is it's going to start showing that ad to a bunch of people. And then it's going to try and figure out which people are most likely to actually end up on that page that I want them to be on. Now, this could take time in the beginning. It doesn't know who that type of person is. It doesn't know what they look alike. And so, Facebook will run the ad and show it to a bunch of people. It might show the video to some people, and then some people might, for example, watch the video for longer than other people. So then Facebook goes, okay, that's a good signal. We're going to focus on these people a bit more instead of the people that didn't watch the video. That makes sense. And then the next thing it does is it looks for more positive signals. And so, for example, if someone likes the video or they comment on it and it's a positive comment, then Facebook goes, okay, this is good. Let's keep showing this ad to this person, because they're engaging with it more than other people. And so it kind of keeps narrowing down its focus to the people that are actually engaging with your ad. And then eventually you might get someone that clicks on the ad, and then Facebook can see, oh, this person just looked at the homepage and then they left. We're going to maybe not focus as much as on them as we would focus on someone that clicked on the ad, went to the website and spent 3 minutes on the website and actually got to the order page, but then they abandoned the website. So we're going to focus more on those people, and then eventually Facebook is going to find that someone is going to place an order, and they're going to land on that page that they're trying to get the person to. And then what Facebook starts to do is it essentially looks at that person and says, how can we find other people, or who are the other people on Facebook that look like this person? And so then it starts to look at all of that information that it has available, and it tries to find more people like that. And so what ends up happening is you then start to get another order, and the time that it takes to get another order is a bit quicker, and so eventually over time, the longer that you run your campaign, the more Facebook can, in air quotes, learn what type of people, which people to show your ad to, and so this is also very important, because I see so many restaurants that run Facebook ads, and they'll be based in another city, and I see their Facebook ads. I should not be seeing Facebook ads for a restaurant if I am not in the city where that restaurant is based. The chances of me placing an order is zero, and so if you don't set your ads up correctly, you might be getting a lot of views, and you might be getting a lot of reactions, and people going, oh, that looks amazing. Let's say you post a picture of this amazing meal or this amazing deal that they can get at your restaurant. You might get people that actually react positively to that, and the person that's running your ads will go, look how many people saw your ad, and look how many people loved it. Surely you must be seeing a lot of new business come in, but they don't actually know. And it's because a lot of those people that are seeing the ad and reacting to it might not even live in the same city. So that's the other tip that I have, is make sure when you're running ads for a restaurant, you have to set your ads up so they only show up to people that live within a certain radius around your restaurant, and not to anyone else. I don't care about people that live in other cities. I do not want them to see my ad. If they see my ad, it is money wasted. So keep that in mind. So run your ads on days when you know people are motivated to order from your restaurant or to come into your restaurant. Set your ads up so that they only show up in the area where you actually can serve people and where there's a good chance that they will place an order. And then make sure you keep track of the conversion so you can actually see how much money you're spending on your ads. And so to come back to the reason why my cost of conversion is just getting lower, like I said, I'm running these ads, I'm showing them to the right people at the right time. On certain days, I'm getting orders a lot cheaper than on other days. And ultimately, Facebook is learning over time and becoming more effective. So the longer I run these campaigns, the more effective they will become, and the lower my cost of conversion will be, to the point where theoretically I should be able to get my cost of conversion less than $1. So that's what I do for my clients. If you're a restaurant owner and that sounds like something that you would want, then we should definitely have a conversation. But if you don't want to pay someone to run your Facebook ads, I get it. So you can use this information that I've just given you in this video, and let this be a guide to you to setting your ads up properly as a restaurant owner, so that you can set up your Facebook ads to be effective. The truth about Facebook advertising is, even if you do it badly, I personally think it's still better than any other form of advertising, because you can target certain people. You can, for example, if you're a pizza place, you can run a ad campaign that only shows up to people who like pizza. That's powerful in itself, whether you're tracking conversions or not. Even if you're showing your ad, 7 days a week at all hours of the day, just the simple fact that you're able to do that with an advertising platform is extremely powerful. But there's just so much more to Facebook ads, and if you actually set your ads up properly, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. Honestly, it is. Like, you're spending, like I said, $2 to get a $50 or $60 order. Because the other thing to keep in mind too, on a Friday night, this pizza place, their average order is way higher than it would be, for example, on a Tuesday afternoon or something like that. So anyway, hopefully this video has been informative. I obviously, don't have a lot of time here, and I'm not going to delve into all of this right now. If you guys are interested in seeing a bit more, and if you want me to delve into exactly how I set my campaigns up so that they only show the ads in a certain area or during a certain time of the day, or exactly how I set up my conversions, then please let me know in the comments, and then I can focus on the things that would be helpful to you. I'm just starting this channel out, so let me know what you guys want to see, and if you have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment. I'll do my best to get back to you. And lastly, if you are watching this video and you are someone that would just rather hire someone else to do something for you, then by all means reach out to me. I'll put my email address in the description of this video. Thanks, guys.